warm welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to this very special show that we are bringing you today. It's been an absolute delight to be part of this crucial, groundbreaking initiative called Love You Zindagi, which aims to break taboos, reduce stigmas, and spread awareness about key social issues facing the country. Today, it's my pleasure to have on stage very eminent panelists who will discuss mental health in India and a special study conceptualized by the Hans Foundation on mental health, the study report on national strategy for inclusive and community-based living for persons with mental health issues. Let me introduce my guests today at the very outset. Please welcome Shweta Rawat. She's the chairperson of the Hans Foundation, a non-profit charitable organization based in New Delhi. It's her family, along with Manoj Bhargava, who founded the foundation. My second guest today is Ratnaboli Ray. She's the founder of Anjali, a leading rights-based mental health organization based in Calcutta. My third guest today is Dr. Nimish Desai. He's director of the Institute of Human Behavior and Allied Sciences. He's made an immense contribution to the development of the Institute. My fourth guest is Professor Shalini Bharat, director at the Tata Institute of Social Sciences. My fifth and final guest today is Dr. K.V. Kishore Kumar, director of the Banyan and Balm, and he's also served as an advisor to the Government of India on the National Mental Health Policy and District Mental Health Programs. Shweta, let me start with you. The study on National Strategy for Inclusive and Community-Based Living for Persons with Mental Health Issue. It's been read, it's been critiqued, it's been acclaimed, it's been even referred to by the Supreme Court. So what motivated the Hans Foundation to go in for such an overarching study on a subject which perhaps has been seen for the longest time as a taboo subject?
The reason the study came about, it was actually a visit from me to Pavlov Hospital in Calcutta with Ratnabali and the Anjali team. And we were in the men's ward of the institution. It was a shock to see that there were people living in the institution who really just did not have a recourse to go anywhere else, but had been living there for 10, 15, 20 years, had had no visitors, and no hope of any life outside of those four walls. I think from there it just grew as a very organic process. What can we do? We talk about disability, we talk about breaking taboo issues in the country, and I think the only way we can fix the issues is by confronting them and coming up with a solution. So I hope the study is going to be part of that.
Dr. Kishore, how do you actually translate what the study has done on paper into practice?
Investment towards this is the key, Rajdeep. The government of India, states will have to recognize that we can achieve people going and moving into the community by making an investment. The larger community will have to undergo that kind of attitudinal change to say people with mental illness can live in the community like any one of us. They have a right to participate in the life process. There should be created an opportunity to earn money and become independent.
Dr. Desai, what role do the government mental health institutes play in implementing the kind of study that the Hans Foundation has been able to draft?
The good part, Radeep, is that the phase one of the study, all the 43 state mental health institutions across the country participated as collaborators. And so not only the chiefs or the medical superintendents or the directors of these 43 hospitals, but all their staff provided the data, cooperated with the study teams, which we were a part of, to examine as to how many people are still there and what can be done about them. So to an extent that's already been achieved, the participation of the key stakeholders in the mental health institutions. The mental health institutions that we are talking about will require to implement that change that has occurred in science, in judicial thought, and mainly in human rights. We will need to have a more proactive drive and to push the government and our own teams to see that there is nobody who should be living in the hospital for long term. The paradigm shift has happened, now we need to implement it.
Is there a dearth of professionals in the mental health care sector who, in a sense, cannot keep up or match up to the felt need that is there.
There is a great deal of gap among the professionals who can actually be moving away from the pathologization of mental health. So if we talk about psychiatrists and so on, I think there is still a gap. But if we expand the base to include social workers, to include counselors, to include family-based counselors, to also include paramedicos and lay counselors, because as we move towards community-based caregiving, we need a whole lot of professionals who probably are not going to just look at it from a pathology angle, but to see how they can be integrated into families and into communities.
How do you involve people who perhaps are not, have not been in any way sensitized to the needs of a mental health care patient?
Hans has pioneered a model called Janmanas, which has trained 300 women in the community who are actively going out in the community, working with the community, and they are helping people to alleviate their difficulties and distress.
Was that one of the goals, to try and not just put an academic study or a research study, but then get that study that you had put in place implemented by training people on the ground?
Absolutely. The study in itself is just the beginning of a really long movement that has to happen in the country on many different levels. So it can sound overwhelming, but we need a government that is proactive. We have already submitted the report to all the 43 mental health institutions. I think for the foundation, we've actually taken on double amount of work now, because we have to now push for this report to be used. It has to go into homes, it has to go into universities. I think it needs to become a part of curriculum. And slowly and steadily, hopefully, soon we'll see a mind shift among people.
I think we've got to recognize that we have come a long way. All my panelists deserve a big hand for speaking so openly and freely. Thank you all very much.
And it is now time to welcome our very special chief guest, Shri G. Kishan Reddy, Union Minister of State for Home Affairs, Government of India. I would request Mata Shri Mangla ji to please come forth and give him a token of appreciation. So ladies and gentlemen, please put your hands together as they release the study report on National Strategy for Inclusive and Community-Based Living for Persons with Mental Health Issues. I'd now like to invite on stage Lieutenant General S.M. Mehta, Chief Executive Officer of the Hans Foundation.
This study was ordered in August 2018, over a period of 7 months. We completed this study and published it in June 2019. This has been submitted to the government and the action is being taken. There are today 13,000 individuals who are in 43 mental health institutions, little over 13,000. One of the objectives of the study was to identify individuals who have stayed in these institutions for more than 1 year. So out of 13,000 such individuals, there are 4,871, if you look at the screen. They are the people who have been staying for more than 1 year in these mental institutions. Out of this, 467 are very, very severe cases who will stay back into the hospital. Let's say if we have to take out 4,404 people in 1 year time and reintegrate them into the society, then what do we need? We'll need to set up 442 houses as community homes, 67 cluster houses, and 1,206 have been identified for reunification with the families. We have been working on a consortium approach. We have approached Azim Premji Philanthropic Initiative, Tata Trust. We have a 5-year strategic agreement with them, Grand Alliance of Canada. We have got all those positive indications from these people to come on board and support us. On the part of THF, when I was communicating to the government, we said for next 3 years, the Hans Foundation proposes to give 75 crores for the reintegration of these individuals. So What is the balance left? 53 crores. Either the government pitches in or we can raise it through the consortium approach. So 3 years we can take on and we can reintegrate all the 4,404 individuals, but that is not the end. It's a recurring expenditure, it's a lifetime responsibility. So ultimately, what is needed is that the governments have to own responsibility to take over this program and carry it forward.
And with that, it is time to recognize the efforts of those who are working tirelessly in the area of mental health to reduce stigma, violation and discrimination associated with this issue in the country.
Hello and welcome once again to a very special initiative of the Hans Foundation as part of the Love You Zindagi series here on India Today. Remember, recently the Indian government has included acid attack survivors in the list of recognized disabilities under the 2016 legislation. The Hans Foundation is committed to empowering people with disabilities to lead independent and productive lives through an increase in access to education, employment and social inclusion. Today we have a special panel for a larger discourse on the issue of acid attacks in the country. Please join me in welcoming Ashish Shukla, founder Stop Acid Attacks and the Chow Foundation. My second guest today is Tanya Singh. She's the CEO of Make Love Not Scars. My third guest is Shaheen Malik, an acid attack survivor, national coordinator of the National Human Rights Law Network's campaign against acid attack. My fourth guest is Ali Zia Kabir Chaudhary. He's a Supreme Court advocate. My other guest is Ritu, also an acid attack survivor. She's an employee at the Shiro's Hangout, a cafe entirely run by acid attack survivors. We'll also be joined by another special guest, Magna Gulzar, acclaimed writer, director, producer, who's just made a memorable film, Chappak. But thank you all very much. Give them all a very big hand for joining us here on the show. Thank you all very much for coming here. Can you shed some light on why this is happening? What explains this alarming number of acid attacks in India?
In India, women are supposed to be virtuous, honorable, and when you attack someone's face with acid, you are perpetually saying that this person was immoral enough to deserve what I have done to them. Acid attacks are always perpetrated by known people. Scorned lovers, ex-husbands, family members, men who can't stand being said no to. And basically, I believe that perpetrators believe that if they attack someone with acid, the survivor is going to walk around with her punishment etched on her face for the rest of her life.
आशीष, आप इस फील्ड में कई सालों से काम कर रहे हैं, ऋतु जैसे कई लोगों को आपने मदद की है. मैं आपसे जानना चाहता हूं कि प्रमुख मोटिव क्या होता है? इस तरह का क्राइम कौन करता है, क्यों करता है?
जब मार्केट में इजीली आपके पास रिटेल मार्केट में अवेलेबल है तो आसानी से कोई बाई कर सकता है और किसी के ऊपर फेंक सकता है. अगर मोटे मोटे कारणों पे जाएंगे तो वही, अगर कोई लड़की आपके प्रपोजल को रिफ्यूज करती है तो वही एक पैट्रियार्कल थॉट आपको कहता है कि नहीं, अगर तुम मेरी नहीं हो सकती तो किसी और की नहीं होने दूंगा. स्टेप मदर ने ऐसे अटैक किया है, फादर ने ऐसे अटैक किया है, हस्बैंड ने ऐसे अटैक किया है. उस थॉट को समझना पड़ेगा कि क्यों और किस संदर्भ में किया गया.
यानी एक माइंडसेट है, एक माइंडसेट जो लोगों की है. शाहीन, आप मुझे बताइए आपकी कहानी और आपकी सबसे बड़ी मुश्किलात क्या हुई?
अचानक से कोई चेहरे पर कुछ डालकर चला गया, थोड़ी देर बाद पता लगा ये एसिड है. फिर उसके बाद हॉस्पिटल का शुरू होता है कि 1 घंटे में आप हॉस्पिटल पहुंचते हो. जाकर पता लगता है कि हर एक पल, हर एक सेकंड जो एसिड मेरे चेहरे पर था वो मेरी स्किन के अंदर जा रहा था और उतना ही ज़्यादा मुझे नुकसान हो रहा था. तो सबसे मुश्किल जो मैं कहूँगी कि अपनी पहचान खो देना और उसे एक्सेप्ट करना कि अब मैं वैसी नहीं दिखूंगी. वो ट्रीटमेंट लेना जो बहुत ज़्यादा महंगा होता है कि 1 लाख 2 लाख में बात नहीं बनती है, 20 लाख 50 लाख और कितना भी जा सकता है. उस डिसेबिलिटी को एक्सेप्ट करना कि मैं अब अपनी एक आंख खो चुकी हूँ और अब मैं ऐसे ही रहने वाली हूँ. वो तो मुश्किलें बहुत सारी हैं जिनको आपको फेस करने के लिए अपने अंदर वो जो खोया हुआ कॉन्फिडेंस से पाने में सालों लग जाते हैं.
वर दोज जो अननोन लोग थे जिन्होंने आप पर एसिड फेंका, उनको कोई पनिशमेंट हुई है?
सिर्फ हेयरिंग्स पर हेयरिंग्स हो जा रही हैं और आज तक वो लोग बाहर हैं, उन्हें कोई सजा नहीं हुई है.
For the longest time there was no clear legal framework for acid attack victims. Is it there today given the rising consciousness? And how is it that acid in particular, as Ashish pointed out, is sold so openly despite the stringent laws?
Well, the simple answer is that yes, we do have a legal framework, but as a lot of speakers have already spoken about, the implementation remains a major challenge. And why is it that we are not able to control the acid being sold openly? I think we have failed to convince the courts and the government that there is no point in regulating the sale of acid to the common public. What we do require, and what was the prayer of that petition, was a total ban.
Let me at this point turn to Magna Gulzar, who joined us earlier. Meghna, what prompted you to make a film on the issue of acid attacks?
News of acid attacks was fairly frequent, and it was happening with an alarming frequency according to me, and yet there was not much public discourse about it, there was not much public dialogue, and definitely not as much as rape. So that actually was the starting point to look deeper into the subject. Lakshmi's story is an exception. She was fortunate enough to get the medical treatment that she got. She had several surgeries. Most stories don't end like that, and so therefore it was important to widen the scope of Chhapak to cover other attack cases as well, because the reality doesn't always have a happy ending.
लोगों के मन में आप बदलाव देख रहे हैं जो कस्टमर्स आपके शीरोज कैफे में आते हैं?
इनके हाथ से कौन खाना खाएगा और हम कैसे यही लोग सर्व करेंगे, या हमको नहीं देखना है या हमको नहीं जाना है, मतलब बहुत मुश्किल था वो सब. बट अब ऐसा है कि लोग, एक साल के बाद हमने ये देखा कि कैफे में जगह नहीं है अंदर बैठने के लिए. 25 का सिटिंग एरिया था. वो बोलते थे कि कप हमें डिस्पोजल में दे दो, हम बाहर खड़े होके पी लेंगे, पर यहाँ पे ही पी के जाएंगे, इसी कैफे से पी के जाएंगे. मतलब इतना चेंज है.
Very good, that's good to know. I just want to say to all 5 of you though, that you are remarkable in the work that you are doing. You have in a way ensured that at least society is slowly getting sensitized to an issue that was kept for much too long on the margins of society. So thank you very much. It's been wonderful to have all of you here. Give them all a very big hand, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you very much.
And it is now time for a very crucial moment. The Hans Foundation is launching a new initiative for acid attack survivors in the country.
We all have heard the first-hand account of the acid attack victims, on the multifaceted struggles of the survivors and the enormity of the need of support for their rehabilitation. As part of this initiative, THF will reach out to all survivors of this heinous crime. As a start, the foundation will earmark rupees 5 crore budget for this initiative. This project would cover priority medical care, psychological counseling services for the victims and their families, opportunities for completing their education and means of livelihood through jobs or entrepreneurship. Thank you very much.
I'd now like to invite and request our Honorable Chief Guest, Shri Kishan Reddy, to address this gathering.
जिस मैं स्टेट से आता हूं, आंध्रा तेलंगाना से, अभी एवरी मंथ दिव्यांगों के लिए 3000 रुपीस पेंशन्स वो आए हैं. मैं इसका कारण मैं बहुत संघर्ष करने से उनका एवरी मंथ 3000 रुपीस देते हैं. हार्ट का प्रॉब्लम से कुछ बच्चे जन्म लेते हैं. आज मैं आपके सामने बता सकता हूं, मेरा संघर्ष के कारण लगभग 1,20,000 लोगों का फ्री ऑपरेशन सरकार की तरफ से किया है. एज ए मिनिस्टर ऑफ द गवर्नमेंट ऑफ इंडिया, wholeheartedly I am supporting this cause and I am supporting on behalf of government this organization. जो भी काम होम डिपार्टमेंट के द्वारा एसिड विक्टिम के विषय पर जो भी सरकार की तरफ से जो काम रेस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी आप लोग देंगे, हम हमारा तरफ से, सरकार की तरफ से और रेस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी हम निभाएंगे, हम आपके साथ रहेंगे। जय हिंद, भारत माता की जय, वंदे मातरम।
And we are now awarding our brave hearts, the individuals who've overcome great odds to rewrite their destiny. These are your real-life heroes who have also shown a deep-rooted sense of empathy for others who are struggling with immeasurable pain. Well, the Hans Foundation is honoring them with a cash prize of rupees 1 lakh each. I'd now like to invite on stage Ms. Shweta Rawat, Chairperson of the Hans Foundation.
First of all, I'd like to thank Minister Reddy for gracing us with his presence. The Hans Foundation was started in 2009, and from the very beginning, we really believed in the ethos of healthy mind, healthy body. So the Hans Foundation was brought about because we felt there was a need, and we wanted to try and answer that need in as holistic a way as possible. Disability is an issue that's very close to my heart. I have 2 siblings with intellectual disabilities, and I'm very fortunate that my family has been able to provide fantastic care for both of them. But there's so many people in this country who don't have that same access. So we became an organization that wants to promote access. Through every project we do, whether it's for livelihood, whether it's for education, whether it's to get people access to healthcare, it's about the ability to make that choice and to have those factors and to have those institutions available. So if you've made a choice, you have the institutional backup for that choice. I'm very happy to be here. I'm happy that my parents are here. I'm happy Minister Reddy is here. And the entire foundation team is here. They worked very hard to put this event together. And of course, I have to say a very heartfelt thank you to the India Today group. Thank you.